My mom is a marketing genius. She used to work at the biggest marketing ad agency in the country. And she's the most shopaholic person that I know of. We could be in nature walks in South Dakota or any other national state parks, and she disappear. 5 minutes later, we'll find her in gift shops that nobody knew even existed. So, shopaholic. She even bought the book Confessions of a Shopaholic. That's how shopaholic my mom is. And that's when I realized something terrifying. Even though you know marketing, it doesn't mean you're protected from it. So I went deeper and I learned NeuroMarketing so you don't have to. Because buying decisions don't happen with your logic. It starts with your biology. I started working at 20 years old, for a friend of mine who has a telemarketing company. And I studied the psychology of selling. Sell with a phone, right? So after that, I got experience. I spent years selling carpets and wallpapers door to door to companies. And living a life getting slammed doors on my face. Then I spent 8 years as a market research analyst. Staring at spreadsheets and learning why people buy. And this year, I spent a lot of my time getting certified for neuromarketing and neuroscience. I spend my time reading all of these books just so you don't have to. Most advice online are just like guesswork, but today, I'm giving you the 3 laws for the buying mind. And these aren't just hacks. They're biological wiretaps. And I call it Picology. Law 1. We buy what's easy. Your customer's brain is biologically lazy. The human brain is an energy hog. It's just 2% of your body weight, but it consumes 20% of your overall energy of your body. And the good part is, it also burns 20% more calories if you think more.
Come on, everybody, let's feel the burn.
Thinking is expensive. So the brain uses dual process system from Daniel Kahneman's book. It's System 1 and System 2. System 2 is active logic. It's like learning how to ride a bike. While System 1 is like autopilot. It's when you learn how to ride a bike and you don't need to think of how to do it anymore. You just ride a bike. Like the famous phrase, it's like riding a bike. Yeah. Your job as a marketer is to keep people in System 1. You don't force them complicated websites or confusing deal offers, because that will give them back to System 2. And we don't like System 2. They'll just think and maybe they'll back out. And if they think too much, they can just oh, this is way complicated for me. I'll just press back or that X button. So keep pushing on that System 1. That's why Netflix doesn't ask you if you want to keep watching. No menu, no decision, no thinking. The next episode just starts. Netflix didn't just hack content. They hack cognitive effort. If you make people think, you lose. Don't be clever, be frictionless. To prove that your brain is a lazy brain in thinking, I'll show you this text. You just read it for a moment and you'll see that you can read. You just look for patterns, systems, and the whole whatnot to prove that the brain likes doing shortcuts. And that's System 1. As you can see here, you can read the whole sentence even though the letters are jumbled up. Next is law number 2. We buy our best selves. We don't buy products. We buy identity. Let me tell you about this thing called the IKEA effect. Back in the 50s, Betty Crocker launched an instant cake mix. Just add water. It flopped. Why? Because it was too easy. Housewives felt like they were cheating. So Betty Crocker changed one thing. They made you add an egg. And sales skyrocketed. Because effort creates ownership. When you build it, you value it. Hardware stores forgot this for decades. They designed everything for the professional male contractor. Harsh lighting, technical signage. When they finally tried to market it to women, they made one of the dumbest moves in history. They tried to shrink it and pink it. Small, low quality, and pink. It failed miserably. Because that hammer didn't say welcome. It said, here's a toy. You play with your toy. You hammer stuff in the house. Go. It insulted the customer's ideal self. Then came the Martha Stewart effect. She reframed renovation as a creative self-expression. The brands that won realized the female DIYer wasn't a weaker contractor. She was a creator. They stopped selling gender. They started selling competence. Stop selling the tool. Sell what you become when you use the tool. I can show you a chart somewhere where people who did origami price the same price with the people who've done expert origami. So they think that what they did is the same price as a pro origami maker did, because that they did it, and this is why Build-A-Bear is successful and IKEA is successful, because IKEA, like I said, created this psychological phenomenon, the IKEA effect. And now comes law number 3. We buy with emotion. There's a rule in psychology called the 90-10 rule. The logic justifies the decision, but the emotion pulls the trigger. And I call this the playground theory. Imagine, you're 10 years old. A bully has just cornered you. You're terrified. A kid named Mark is nearby and he watches. Later he says, "Man, I support you." Mark is nice. Mark is passive. Now imagine a kid named Elliot. Elliot drops his backpack. He runs across the hall. He steps in front of you. He takes the punch meant for you. In that moment, the barrier between you and him disappears. Elliot isn't just a friend anymore. He is family. And that's identity fusion. That's what great brands do. They don't just stand near you. They step in front of you. And the perfect example for this is the Boba and Kiki effect. You match the shape with the name. So here's Boba and here's Kiki. You match which is Boba and which is Kiki. As you can see, your emotions matches them based on what do you feel their name is. The tendency to match the nonsense word with Boba with a rounded shape and Kiki with a spiky shape. A good example for this is the one that I told you last time in my last video. It's how ET and 007 market their products. For example, ET uses Reese's Pieces in order. Elliot uses Reese's Pieces to like make a connection with ET, the alien, and people see it like a connection. And their sales skyrocketed on like 300%. While 007 markets like the Aston Martin, the Omega watch, and the people who watches just sees them as props. And I spent 14 years not realizing that everything I did was all NeuroMarketing until up today, up until now, up until this year. So I spent a lot of time, a lot of money learning about NeuroMarketing, and I realized something. These 3 laws, laziness, identity, emotion, they aren't just marketing. They are the operating system of the human behavior. I compiled everything into a framework, and it became a thesis of mine, and I call it Psychology. Psychology is the science of how brands use psychology to influence behavior, and how you can use those psychological tricks to become more influential, persuasive, and impossible to ignore. And that's the pivot. We aren't just analyzing ads anymore, like the ones we do in our short forms. You can like just click it somewhere there. We are now weaponizing this belief, this psychology, into something that you can use in your daily lives. I'll keep reading those boring books so you don't have to. And if you want to keep understanding why people buy and how we can use these principles in order to make our daily lives better, please subscribe. And welcome to Inside the Buy Mind.